This is the Fort Bend ISD Set B Snare Drum Region Etude for middle school. So I'm going to go line by line. The range is 76 to 90 with the triplet on, because this is dotted quarter note equals 76 to 90. I'm going to do my tutorial videos at 76 at the lower range, and then my performance video at 90 so we can slow it down if we want to, or have it at the right speed. Okay, so first off, we are at fortissimo. So I'm going to be playing just off the center and playing about full 45 degrees, okay? So not too high, but that's going to get us a nice full sound on the snare drum. Okay, we are in 9/8, so at 76, if you put the triplet on, that's your 8th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We start off with a dotted 8th note. So an 8th note subdivides into 16th notes. So at this tempo, this is your 8th note. 16th notes is double that. So your dotted note is going to be that fast. Dotted note, dotted note, dotted note, and 3. Dotted note, and 3. Dotted note, and 3. Okay, 16th notes will continue to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. So we're going to base all of our rolls on that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. First line here is dotted note and 3, 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, in that first measure, let's play without buzzes. So we have dotted note and 3, 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, ready, go. Now put the buzzes in. Now, buzzes are naturally going to probably be louder, so make sure your buzzes are a little bit lower than your 45 degrees. Use your arm on your buzzes. Make sure you're getting 3 notes per multiple bounce. We don't want a tight buzz. We want a nice full buzz. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, ready, go. Second measure. Let's do the rhythm first. 1 and 2 and 3, dotted note and 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do it with check only. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so let's add the rough at the end. Da-da-da-da, rough. So on measure 3, you have a rough. Remember, you can do this as an open rough. We're getting 2 notes. That's a little more sophisticated, or with a slight buzz. Okay, I'm going to do them with 2 since that's a little more sophisticated for you advanced students. And with our check before that, 7, 8, 9 rough. So you're going to have to think about that drag coming in just before beat 1. Da-da-da-da-ba-da. Da-da-da-da-ba-da. Before. Da-da-da-da before. Okay? So don't come in late. Okay? So let's hear that with a minute. Ready? Go. So you're going to have to downstroke that last left and then come in right away with the drag. Okay? All right, now let's put the buzzes in. 1, 2, measure 2 with buzzes. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so now we're going to get down to piano. So we're going to go into pianissimo later. So you're going to have to save some room. So pianissimo would be like here, barely dropping the stick. So I'm just going to change my geography to be a little bit closer to the center, about the same height, same touch. When I go to piano, I also go to kind of a finesse grip where I kind of relax the front and I'm barely holding on to the sticks. This is the first time you have a dotted quarter, so it's going to be a quarter note divides into 8 notes. So dotted note divides into 3 8 notes. So at this tempo, 8 notes are that fast. So it's going to be dotted note, next note. Dotted note, next note. Okay, or dotted note 4, waiting till beat 4. And then on beat 5, you have a triplet. So at this tempo, you have to get a triplet to fit into an 8th note. Okay, and then the release on beat 6 would be the release of the triplet. 4, triplet, 6, 7. 4, triplet, 6, 7. Okay? Alright, so let's play all in measure 3. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so all of the first line. 1, 2, ready, go. Line 2, we start with these low roughs again at piano. So try to be in your finesse grip. You have a quarter note and then an eighth note with an eighth rest and then a quarter note. They're all the same. They're all worth 2 eighth notes. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay? Even though it's 1, 3, 5, 7. On beat 7, you have the same rhythm that you had in measure 3. 7, triplet 9, 1. 7, triplet 9, 1. 7, triplet 9, 1. Okay, same rhythm happens in measure 8. 1, triplet 3, 4. And then you have 4, 5, 6, and 7. After those 2 buzzes, you have a dotted quarter. So again, dotted note. The speed of 8 notes. Dotted note 1. Now you have to drop even lower. And you have 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so I'm going to do this whole thing with check only. So no roughs, no buzzes. Okay? Line 2. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. Alright, let's put the roughs in and put the buzzes in. Remember, the roughs are going to come in slightly before the actual beat. A 1, a 3, a 5, 7. So beat 7 is going to seem like it has more space because there's no rough. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. One, 2, ready, go. Line 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so again, that's 2 buzzes on those 8th note rolls. 16th notes in measure 8, 1 and 2 and 3. And then on beat 4, you have dotted note, speed of 8th notes, dotted note 1, or dotted note set. Okay, then on beat 7, you're back to piano, so a little bit louder. You just change your geography a little bit more towards the center. And we have 7, 8, 9 and 1, 2 and 3. Even though there's a buzz roll on measure 9, it's the same check as you had before. Then you have this triplet on beat 4, triplet 5, 6. Then you have 7, 8, 9, and 1. Okay, so let's play this whole thing with no buzzes. 1, pianissimo to start. 1, 2, ready, go. Dotted note. Again, ready, go. Dotted note. Okay, now let's put those 2 buzzes. All these rolls in this section are 2 16th note buzzes on the roll. 1, 2, ready, go. Dotted note. Again, 1, 2, ready, go. Line 4, buzz buzz tap tap, 1 and 2, and triple the dot. So you have this triplets on every beat of the 8th note. Triple the dotted note. So it's a lot of stuff based on 8th notes. 1 and 2, 3, triple the dotted note 1. Okay. When you get to measure 11, you have an 8th note, which is a full beat. Then you have a flam on a quarter note, and the quarter notes were 2 8th notes. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. Okay, so there's going to be a beat of silence in that quarter note. Okay, now measure 12 is the first time you have 60 notes going into a triplet 16th note. So you have 1 and triplet 3 and 1. 1 and triplet 3 and 4. 1 and triplet 3 and 4. So that's got to line up with 8th notes. 1 and triplet 3 and 4. 1 and triplet 3 and 4. Okay, and then you get into that same rhythm 4, 5, 7, 8, 1, where there's one beat in between. So remember, there's a dynamic change between measure 10 and 11. You're going to change your geography. It's more towards the center, not in the center yet, and more of a mid-height. So a little bit higher for mezzo forte. Make sure that in measure 10, the triplet ends on the left. Triplet, 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 left. So I'm thinking right, left, right, left. Triplet, 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 left. If I did accents, it would be right, left, but it's not. Triplet, triplet, triplet. Triplet, 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 left. Okay, let's give it a shot. No buzzes. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, line 5. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5. Now be careful here. That quarter note on 5 is worth 2 beats. Then you have to wait a dotted quarter note, which is worth 3 beats. So really it's 4 8th note rests. Okay? So 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. Okay? If you need to come up with some 4-syllable word to help you there, or just think 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, or think 4, 5, 6 dotted note, you just make sure you need to keep track of where the pulse is. All right, the rolls that follow that in measure 14, all these rolls that are connected are worth 4 buzzes. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8, and 9. Now that one is not tied. It's still a quarter note roll, but it's not tied. So I'm only going to do 3 buzzes, right, left, right, and then I have another roll coming up. So I'm going to do my right again. 8 and 9, 1. Right, right, right. They're all buzzed. Right, left, right, right. Usually on a roll you don't release with a buzz, but because we're trying to make sure it sounds like a roll all the way to the end and there's no release, we're going to do 3 buzzes, the last note being a buzz. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and tap, 5 and 6, and tap, buzz, 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 tap, buzz, 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 tap, buzz, 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 tap. Now the last measure here in measure 16, we get back to 8th note rolls, which is 2 16th notes, 2 buzzes. Buzz, buzz, tap, buzz, buzz, tap, buzz, buzz, tap, buzz, buzz, tap, buzz, buzz, tap. So it's kind of a hemiola there. You have 5 of those 5-stroke rolls. So make sure you don't get lost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. All right, let's do this without buzzes. 1, 2, ready, go. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's put buzzes in this time. 1, 2, ready, go. Make sure in all these buzzes you don't attack with an accent or release with an accent. Don't go or. Make sure it all has the same color. Line 6. Okay, we have a 1 and 2 and 3 and buzz, buzz, tap, buzz, buzz, tap, buzz, buzz, tap. Now you have a rough going into beat 1. So again, you're going to have to come in a little bit earlier on that rough. So you're going to have to be ready. A 1, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9. A 1. Think like a 1. Think before beat 1. And it comes up in dynamics to forte, a little off center, and just a little bit higher, except for the rough. Then you have that same rhythm from the beginning, dotted note and 3. And now we have a flam, dotted note, because that's a dotted quarter. So that's where 3 8th notes, dotted note, dotted note, dotted note. And then you have a roll that starts on beat 7 in a dotted quarter. Then you have a dotted half and a dotted quarter. So that's actually going to be worth 4 big beats. So in other words, it's going to be 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. Okay? So you can be thinking triplets the whole time. Triplet, 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 1. Okay? As you get softer on that roll, relax your grip. You don't need as much pressure. And then you're going to have to be ready with your finesse grip for these triplets. Okay? So you can't have a tight grip after those buzzes to be able to pull off those triplets. Okay, let's try this without buzzes. Starting at mezzo forte. Let's try this without buzzes or roughs. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, let's put the buzzes in. Make sure the rough is slightly before beat 1. 1, 2, ready, go. going into line 7. Now this is a kind of a pickup. You have a triplet on beat 9 of the measure 20, and it goes into these triplets into 21. So essentially it's the same rhythm as measure 10 on beat 3, triplet, triplet left, but it's starting on beat 9. 9 la li, 1 la li, 2 la li, 3. So it's the same thing, but it starts on a different beat. So it's a little strange, but if you can do measure 10, triplet, dot, then this pickups into 21. 9, 1, 2, 3 is the same thing. Measure 21, triplet left, then you have 4 and 5, 6. Same rhythm happens on 7, 7, 8, 9, but it's only one buzz. 7, 8, 9. So it's gonna be buzz, tap, tap, tap. So beat 4, you have buzz, buzz, tap, tap. Then on beat 7, you have buzz, tap, tap, tap. So make sure we don't hear an accidental buzz on the left. Okay. Now at 22, we have this dotted note and 3, just like the beginning, but it has a triplet on 3. Dotted note and triplet 4. Dotted note and triplet 4. So make sure you play it as a 60-note interpretation. Dotted note and trip, and then on beat 3 is when you change to a triplet. So be careful there. Dotted note and triplet dot. Now we have a dotted quarter there. So again, dotted note, a dotted note, dotted note, a dotted note. It does change dynamics, so watch your geography. It should get lower and move towards the edge. Then you have these rolls, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, also, the tendency is on measure 22, dotted note and triplet 4, is to play that louder. And also to be early on the first left. Dotted note, wait on that. Dotted note, triplet 4. Make sure you wait. It's something we haven't seen. All right, so let's do this without buzzes. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, let's put the buzzes in. 1, 2, ready, go. Line 8. You have 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, and 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you rest on 9. Okay, so it's these 2 60-note buzz rolls, 5-stroke rolls for all these rolls. Then we have dotted note and 3, 4 and 5 and 6, buzz, 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 tap. That's exactly the same as the beginning, except we're at mezzo forte instead of fortissimo. All right, so this is pretty straightforward. Without buzzes, please. 1, 2, mezzo forte, and go. Rest. Okay, with buzzes. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. Line 9, we have buzz, buzz, tap, 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 buzz, buzz 2 and 3, dotted note and 6, 7, 8, 9. So a lot of the same rhythms we've seen in the past. Then we have triplet 2, triplet 4, triplet 6, triplet 1. This last part has 3 triplets in a row that ends on your left. That's exactly the same as measure 10 on beat 3, and the pickups to measure 21 on beat 9, 1, 2, 3. So again, right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left. But we're coming from piano, triplet, and going to forte. Let's do this without buzzes. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, let's put the buzzes in. 1, 2, ready, go. Line 10, we have that same rhythm that we had in measure 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that quarter note flang gets 2 beats. 2, 3, 4. On beat 4, we have that 4 and triplet 5 and. So 6 notes into triplets, just like we had in measure 12. Da 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 da. 4 and triplet 6 and 7. And on 7, we have 7, 8. Again, with that same 8th note plus a quarter note flam. So make sure you don't play on beat 9. All right, measure 30. Triplet 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. With flams on those odd numbers. And then beat 9, you got to drop and get to the edge and play with finesse grip. Triplet, triplet, triplet. This is the same as those consecutive triplets in the measure 10 and pickups to 21. And also going into measure 29, but there's no release on the left hand. So sometimes it helps to fake. Triplet, 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 left, fake. If that helps you, or do a mental fake. But then after that, you have to count your rest properly. Triplet, 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 dotted note, 1. So make sure you think about your rests. All right, let's go for it. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, last line is the exact same as the beginning, except beat 4, instead of going 4 and 5 and 6, 7, it's going to be 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. So it's a little different. Measure 33 is the exact reverse of the first measure on big beats. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6, dotted note, and 9 a rough. Let's do this without buzzes. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, let's have the rough and the buzzes. 1, 2, ready, go. Four-pin ISD, Set B Snare. Goes at 76. Full run. 1, 2, ready, go. Four-pin ISD middle school region Set B snare drum at 90. 1, 2.